And therefore that which grieveth me to the very bottom of my heart is that these witchmongers cannot be content to wrest out of God's hand his almighty power and keep it themselves, or leave it with a witch, but that, when by drift of argument they are made to lay down the bucklers, they yield them up to the devil, or at the least pray aid of him, as though the reins of all men's lines and actions were committed into his hand, and that he sat at the stern, to guide and direct the course of the whole world, imputing unto him power and ability enough to do as great things and as strange miracles as Christ ever did.
Doubtlessly, who denies the power of the devil would likewise deny the power of God, if they could, for shame.
My greatest adversaries are young ignorance and old custom. For what folly so every tract of time hath fostered, it is so superstitiously pursued of some, as though no error could be acquainted with custom. But if the law of nations would join with such custom to the maintenance of ignorance, and to the suppressing of knowledge, the civilest country in the world would soon become barbarous. For as knowledge in time discovereth errors, so doth superstition and ignorance in time breed them. And concerning the opinions of such as wish that ignorance should rather be maintained than knowledge busily searched for, because thereby offence may grow, I answer, that we are commanded by Christ himself to search for knowledge, for it is the king's honor, as Solomon saith, to search out a thing.
For shame, for I search out knowledge where I should, in the Scriptures. That there can be such a thing as witchcraft and witches, there are many more places in the Scriptures that show this to be true. At first in the law of God it is plainly prohibited, but certain it is that the law of God speaks nothing in vain, neither doth it lay curses or enjoin punishment against shadows, condemning that to be ill which is not in essence of being, as well call it.
The tables of witchcraft have taken so fast hold and deep root in the heart of man that some or none can nowadays with patience endure the hand and correction of God. For if any adversity, grief, sickness, loss of children, corn, cattle, or liberty happen unto them, by and by they exclaim upon witches, as though there were no God in Israel that ordereth all things according to his will, punishing both just and unjust with griefs, plagues, and afflictions in manner and form as he thinketh good, but that certain old women here on earth called witches must needs be the contrivers of all men's calamities, and as though they themselves were innocents and had deserved no such punishments.
These are not innocents, for the devil visits every man whom of he hath the rule, according to their complexity and knowledge, and so whom he finds most simple, he plainly discovers himself unto them. They can bewitch and take the life of men or women by roasting of the pictures, as I spake of before. They can raise storms and tempests in the air, either upon sea or land, though not universally, but in such a particular place and prescribed bonds, as God will permit them so to trouble. They can make spirits either to follow and trouble persons, or haunt certain houses, and oftentimes the inhabitants, as hath been known to be done by our witches at this time. And likewise they can make some to be possessed with spirits, and so to become demons.